When you make changes as a leader, especially in an environment where you didn't necessarily build from the ground up, you can always get pushback. Has this been true for you, Carol? And if so, how have you handled it? And is there an instance where you had pushback and you had to work through it to get to where you really wanted to go?
When I joined the company, it became apparent to me that some of our policies were not contemporary and actually were impeding our ability to attract the best and brightest. And by that I mean, we didn't allow natural hair. So if you were African American and you wanted to have an afro or a twist or a braid, we didn't allow that. We didn't allow tattoos. So if you had a tattoo, it had to be covered up. I'm like, for heaven's sakes, our tattoo policy was more restrictive than the U.S. Army. I'm like, we got to let this go. We got to let people bring their real, genuine, authentic self to work. I'm okay with natural hair. I'm okay with facial hair for men. We didn't allow that either, oh, by the way. In today's world, you see a lot of facial hair. You see a lot of natural hair, and you certainly see a lot of tats. I think the latest statistic is like 40% of Americans have a tattoo. So I'm like, we got to let that go. We don't want anything disrespectful. We don't want facial tats. We don't want anything disrespectful, but we got to let that go. Our people, for the most part, loved it. Our retirees sent me a lot of nasty grams. They didn't love it so much. They didn't. And I said, I appreciate you reaching out. I appreciate your feedback. I do. But I believe that to move this company forward, we need to allow people to bring their real, genuine, authentic self to work.
Oh, that's great. And, I know you've thought a lot about the importance of understanding your personal purpose. How did you end up defining your purpose for yourself? And give me an example of how you use that in the way how you make decisions.
Well, for a long time, I thought my purpose was to make a difference. And that's a good purpose. And I really tried to do that every day. But when I got to UPS, I first asked the company to work on its purpose. We knew we were a values-based culture. We knew that we moved 6% of the U.S. GDP every day and 2% of the world's GDP every day. We knew what we did, but we hadn't declared our purpose. So I put together a cross-functional team, and I said, your job is to define our purpose. So they did a masterful job of interviewing UPSers and retirees and customers and suppliers and communities. And they iterated and landed on our purpose, which is moving our world forward by delivering what matters. And I love that purpose so much because it's not just about moving goods, it's about doing good too. And as the company was working on its purpose, I started to reflect on me and said, Carol, you got to spend some time here. You need to really think about your purpose. Making a difference is good, but it's not deep enough. It's not deep enough. So I spent a lot of time. I was very, very reflective, very, very reflective. And this is what I landed on, which is lead to inspire, serve to create, give to remain. And this purpose for me really drives me every day. So I know that one way I can make a difference here is to inspire over 500,000 people every day to get up and continue to do it. So I spend a lot of time talking to people virtually or in their sorting centers or on the package cars in a ride along, trying to inspire people to reach their highest potential to continue to do great service. Serve to Create is all about investing in people and helping them reach their highest potential. This gives me joy. I know it's my purpose. If I have lost count of the number of CFOs or people who worked for me who are now CFOs of publicly traded companies. I am super proud of the people who have worked for me who are now CEOs of publicly traded companies, including Ted Decker, who's the CEO of Home Depot. I hired him 20 years ago. Hal Lawton, who's the CEO of Tractor Supply, and I could go on and on. So I love to invest in people, serve to create, help people reach their highest potential, and then give to remain. I love Hamilton. And one of the lyrics in Hamilton is, when you're gone, who's going to tell your story? I'm not giving the justice, but that's kind of what it says. When you're gone, who's going to tell your story? And I'm like, well, if I give of my time, if I give of my money, then maybe when I'm gone, somebody will tell my story.